If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, well, welcome to Life of Gaz. Now, I try my best to upload a new video every single Wednesday, and if you want to keep up to date with that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and more importantly, ring the bell to get all the notifications.
Well, hey guys, welcome to Life of Gaz, and today I'm fishing down here at Red Bank Road. Now, the tidal conditions and the wind conditions, they look great for bass and sole. Just got to hold out that they turn up. So fingers crossed, we are going to see some fish tonight. So guys, here's a little bit of beach which we're going to be fishing today. I've got this little channel filling in, a bit of a bank there, a bit of a bank there, a little bit of a bank there, and a gully right away across. And with weather like this, it looks fantastic. So fishing the conditions, I got the 7-ounce green top weight there because we're casting into a westerly wind, which is blowing in at about 28 miles an hour tonight. And then I've got my 4-0 pennel clipped down just here for larger baits. And then over on the other side, again, we got the 7-ounce green top. And then I've got my smaller sole hooks on there, my place sort of rigs. Don't worry, they can catch almost anything, but I do like them for those species. And then of course I got the floating attractor up top on that free hook flapper.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you here, this is a really difficult week's fishing. Now, what I'm going to do, instead of carrying on with this video, is I'm going to put another one in there as well. So let's jump forward in time a few days to a session once these weather calm down a little bit. I'll show you how I got on there before coming back to finish off this session as well.
Well guys, after those harder conditions earlier on in the week, I thought I'd come out and give it another go. So I'm back down here on the gynn wall, and hopefully I'll see a few more fish this evening. So guys, the rigs I'm using today, I'm going to start off with a pennel clip down on one side, and then I've got the free hook flapper over on the other. Now later on in the tide, I'm going to probably change over to an up and over, as I'm making up some other baits as well. I've got a bit of squid, some razor, a little bit of crab as well, and of course frozen worm just there. So I'm going to throw that out and see how we do. Here you go guys, first fish of the day, a tiny little Dover sole.
Now that was the very first chuck of the night and very first retrieve. Now I didn't see a bite and I didn't really know there was a fish on until I was fairly close in and I could feel it just kicking and pulling back. But it was off to a great start and a promising start to the night, and equally that's the first sole I think I've ever caught in daylight as well. Most of them I catch just as the sun's going down or just coming up.
So I've given it an hour and a half, and I've changed over from that clip down to this up and over, and I'm going to start fishing some fish baits out there. And on the other rod up there, what I'm going to do is just drop that one in really tight to the bottom of the wall and see what we can do.
Well, that was all she wrote for that. One bite, one little fish. I didn't even see that bite, but I managed to land that tiny little sole anyway. So what I'm going to do is jump back out to the video I started this video with, and we'll finish off that session in the rough sea and see what happens. Now this session, obviously I knew it was going to be windy, and the wind speed wasn't so high that I wasn't going to be able to do anything with it. I can fish those conditions. It was only blowing in at 35 miles an hour. But what had happened is the fact that the weed had just clogged absolutely everything up. And as the tide was moving, every single retrieve, I was pulling more and more weed off my line. Now it's getting to the point where the weed would bunch up and actually stop the line from moving down through the rod, or it'd come down through the eyes and try and wrap up around the reel. And essentially this was just an effort just to keep the line clear. And if I've managed to pick a fish up in this situation and then had to stop to unjam a load of weed off the line and to be able to bring that down through the rod again, then I'd have probably lost it. Now don't worry, we do catch fish in this session, but they were hard work.
So looking at my rods there, anchoring up is almost impossible. They're both dragging round, so I've stuck one in really short, just around about 30 yards off the wall. The other one I've cast out and left a great big bow in the line, and hopefully that's going to stay there. But we're going to stick with this and see how we get on.
And I finally got my first bite of the night, but this meant that I had to chase over to my rod, pick it up, run back as fast as I could, and then reel as fast as I could as well. Now furiously reeling like this, all I'm trying to do is catch up to where the fish is and take all the slack out of that line, because bass are an absolute nightmare for jumping off the hook if you don't get the weight on them really quickly. And of course, in rough weather like this, another classic way to lose these fish is when they roll over in the waves. Now, the trouble is with this sort of sea condition is that the fish get pushed way up the wall out of the way of you. And what I always do, and what I find most successful and how I stopped losing fish in that situation, was when they were getting pushed up the wall, I actually walk up the wall and follow them and try and keep them coming in as straight as I can, rather than letting them hit the wall and then try and bring them back towards you.
So guys, absolutely chuffed to bits. It's another only just undersized. It's a 41 centimetre bass, so he's going to go back. But I'm absolutely chuffed to bits. On the last cast, I managed to beat the blank with this beautiful fish. Okay guys, so we stuck all that out right out to the end, and on the last cast we managed to save that blank. But if you've liked this episode, make sure you hit the subscribe button down here. Check out my latest fishing video over there, and of course my sea fishing playlist up top.